think I left an umbrella up here.
We're recording.
Hey.
I'm here with my main man, Clayton. Clayton, what's the secret sauce to having a profitable and a fulfilling business?
Wow, great question, Hector. You know, I think profit falls out the back of commitment. You know, you actually sort out some strategy around where you're heading, what it is that you want to achieve out of life, and the stars start to align. It doesn't happen overnight, but success, it's your definition. The beautiful thing about this industry that I'm seeing is that there's a lot of option, a lot of choice, which sometimes can create inertia, too many choices, but you can go down whatever path it is that you want to go down and build a business that actually enables some lifestyle, impact, helping others. Actually, the more people you help to get what they want, the more you will receive.
What is the best business advice you ever received?
Invest in yourself is the best advice I have ever received. The best investment you can ever make is an investment in yourself, and that's your learning, and that's why I'm here.
And what about marriage advice?
Marriage advice, always say yes.
You're right. You're right. Peter Cullen, talk to me, man.
Hey Hector, how are you, brother? Good to see you.
What is the best business advice that you've ever received?
The best business advice I ever received is to be authentic, be yourself, and to really to plant empathy in the hearts of your team members and in your clients, so that you believe in their purpose.
What about marriage advice?
Oh, marriage advice. So definitely, like the thing you have to understand is that between a husband and wife, there's bound to be a lot of like challenges and issues, like nonstop. So like for me, it's always like at the end of the day, I always tell my wife that I love her, that let's just go to bed and tomorrow will be a much better day. I know we don't always agree, but we'll find a way to make it work.
I'm here with Mark Wickersham, live from QB Connect, one of my favorite people. Mark, what is the best business advice you ever received?
Well, I know you'll probably want to say start doing video.
Right.
Because that was a good piece of advice.
Right.
Yeah.
Start doing video.
Start doing video.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the secret sauce to pricing right? To pricing your services right? What's the secret sauce?
Oh, just make it up.
Make it up?
No, I think it's the number one thing is confidence. Just be really confident about the value you deliver. I think the reason why most people are too cheap is they lack that confidence and they fear not winning the business, and so they keep their prices low.
What are clients, our small business clients looking for? What trades looking for from an advisor, a small business advisor?
So the biggest thing that's happening today that a small business advisor must do is they must identify what the key pain points that their customers have. So you have to be able to find these things out by spending time with your clients, interviewing them, asking them questions. Once you identify what the key pain points are, then you have to be able to create a roadmap over time to remove the pain points. Sometimes it's technology, sometimes it's training, sometimes it's better communication, sometimes it's building a stronger business process, sometimes it's automation. You have to find the right mixture of things that help the business get back on the right track so they can achieve their goals.
And why should accounting professionals come to this conference?
So that's easy, right? So Intuit as the leader, not a leader, the leader in small business ecosystem, meaning all of the different tools, software, solutions, services. In order to avail yourself of all those things in your toolkit, you must become knowledgeable, informed, and aware of what those things are. Intuit does a better job of providing that to a small business advisor.
I'm here with my friend and co-council member, Michael Lee, who is going to teach me how to have a great remote workforce.
Wow.
Give me a couple of 3 tips about how to have a great remote workforce.
All right. Standardize your processes. Provide.
You use an app for that, if I may ask, or a system?
Yeah, we use somewhat a level of a system. Like, so one ways you do that is you pick a standard platform like QuickBooks Online.
Yep.
You pick a standard software you use. We use QuickBooks Online, Bill.com, so they have to get training on those platforms.
Does that mean you won't support a QuickBooks desktop client?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
That's a tough
That
one.
would be example. That would be an example.
Okay.
So I would recommend you choose a platform you're going to be on, choose the apps you're going to be on. The other thing is, I believe in empowering. So you want to communicate in all your interviews, and as you filter candidates, you want to communicate the freedom you're going to provide them as a remote worker, but also the responsibility they now have.
Are you a row guy?
Huh?
Are you a results work environment guy? With that
Yes.
guy? Yes?
Yes, very much so. And then you want a communication channel, okay? Because you're going to create a culture. Even with remote workers, you have to create a culture. So there's 3 ways we do it. We use a constant communication channel like Slack. We use Slack.
Like Slack or you use Slack?
We use Slack.
Slack.
But you can use others. You can use others.
Slack is great.
Second one is we do an every other week mandatory video call. Thursdays at lunch.
Embracing video.
Everybody has to eat lunch, so they get embrace video. You do the mandatory call, and then third, we do a mandatory quarterly get-together, in-person get-together. So you don't have to do all that as a firm, but if you want to build a remote workforce and you want to build a culture, a brand culture, you have to actually have them interacting with one another. And then you as the firm owner have to use those tools as well. You can't prescribe a tool and then not use it. You have to be able to use it yourself.
Any advice to any young person getting into the industry or anyone that feels that what they do is maybe not that effective, and what should they do to transform their practice or start looking at new innovative ways to do things?
Right, but we're real big believers in niche specialization. You know, it's repeatable, it's scalable, and you're able to work with customers on a predictive nature. And that's what business owners are looking for. They're looking for people with the domain expertise. So, and people will travel distances, okay, for that specialist, for that cardiologist. But if you're a general practitioner, you know, you're solving the general good. Okay.
But with remote consulting, they don't need to travel.
Right. They don't need to travel.
Right.
But still, people will pay a premium and they'll appreciate you more if you're able to speak their language.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome, Hector.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. Love
Right.
the videos.
Yeah, maybe that's,
Yeah, that's great. And the magic question.
Yeah.
How do we pay them? How do we pay them and still be profitable?
How do you pay them and still be profitable? Well, you got to
Right.
charge.
I mean, you have to pay them, but I'm saying if you pay them by the hour, by the job.
So all my
Are they employees? Are they contractors?
workforce are employees. They have to be, because I'm in the state of Vermont, so I can't use a contractor in Vermont. If they're outside of Vermont, I can.
Okay.
Although the federal government may have questions about that. So, so it depends on that. But everybody has employees by default, and I make sure that I charge enough on our when we do our pricing model on value billing. Then we want to make sure we are charging high enough prices so that we can able to pay our employees and still have, you know, at minimum 50% and high end 70% gross margin on all of our customers.
Are you tracking time?
We are tracking time, not for mainly because all of the bookkeepers are all qualified for overtime. So I have to track time to pay them overtime.
For compliance purposes.
For compliance purposes. And so the hard part with all these value billing people that talk about it is if you're in a state where you're required to pay overtime, you have to track time.
Right.
So that's really, and then it lets us track productivity, but I rarely use it as a measure of performance review. I use it as a measure of, do I get rid of this client or did I misprice this client?
Yep.
Right? So you may have, what Joe Woodward says is every year you look at your bottom 20 clients and you try to reprice them or get rid of them.
So much knowledge. Thank you, man.
Yes, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
What about pricing advice for accounting professionals and business advisors?
So the most important thing about pricing is, of course, you must understand that the customer is the one who's the ultimate arbiter of price. So you have to price the customer, not the service. And what I mean by that is, again, going back to what I said earlier about identifying the pain points, creating a roadmap for success, utilizing the right basket of tools. Once you've identified what those things are and you provide the roadmap, then you ask the customer, is this what you were looking for?
QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop?
So both. I like both products. I like both products because in the enterprise space, there's more things that you can do, all maintaining all of your data inside the QuickBooks database.
Who's your ideal client for QuickBooks Desktop?
Ideal client for QuickBooks Desktop is a manufacturing client that uses inventory, so they intend to fully utilize all the capabilities that QuickBooks software has in order to run their entire business. And of course, there's a lot of feature set in there that can be properly utilized.
For QuickBooks Online?
For QuickBooks Online, it's somewhat similar, although I would say that on the inventory side, right, if you have job costing or manufacturing or kitting or anything like that, you're going to have to go outside of QuickBooks to use the right tools. So I generally would say for QuickBooks Online, very strong product, fits very well for customers who don't necessarily need inventory at this time.
We'll start with you. I'm here with one of my favorite people in the accounting profession, Laura Redmond.
Hi.
Tell us about what is your secret sauce, Laura?
My secret sauce is Arrow Workflow. Arrow Workflow is how we are successful as an accounting firm. We're very intentional and proactive about the services we offer and how we do them and what apps we use to do them and all of the unique techniques we've developed for how we're going to perform our services so that we can deliver great quality customer service to our clients and so that we can be profitable, which makes us a healthier firm for our staff and for our clients.
And how in the world do you balance training, travel, running an app company, and also an accounting consulting firm?
One of the main reasons
Don't give me a watered down answer. Tell me the truth.
I'm telling you the truth. The fact that I can delegate the work to my team is excellent. We hire them, they're smart people, all of us, all of our firms. You find that person that's so great, but if you can't give them clear assignments and instructions on how to do the work, many times there's a bottleneck because they're wondering, oh, I don't want to mess anything up. So the real reason that I can work on so many things is the ability to delegate that work successfully.
And how do you find those smart people? Like, what's your secret sauce?
I found one on LinkedIn. Let me tell you, the last two people that we've hired, I've met here at QuickBooks Connect. I've hired them, worked with them, but the first time we ever saw each other was here at QuickBooks Connect.
Perfect.
So that is definitely a connection.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Any parting words?
Yeah, the parting words is the future is going to be amazing. The future is going to be amazing. Again.
Better than the present?
Much better than the present. Because, again, we have purpose in our hearts to serve our clients. And when you communicate that purpose in our hearts to serve our clients, then there's an opportunity to succeed.
Thank you, Peter.
Amen,
Bye.
brother.
How you doing, my friend?
Hey, Hector, how are you?
Who are you and what do you do?
I'm Ron Saharian, co-founder of Profit First Professionals, and we eradicate entrepreneurial poverty.
How?
By implementing the Profit First methodology, which is a pay yourself first methodology where we ensure the business owner is paying themselves first, where we're setting up a war chest of cash so they have money to pay Uncle Sam, and there's a focus on profit. That profit can be used to pay down debt, hire, or celebrate the health of the company.
You're helping the entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs, yep, absolutely. But we're actually certifying accountants and bookkeepers so they can help out the entrepreneurs as well
What's
as
the
themselves.
secret to building international relationships as well?
You know what? Building international relationships is actually making the first step of actually going international. You know,
Right. Making the trip.
Yeah, making the trip.
Showing up is half the battle, right?
Exactly. You know,
Right.
most of life is actually just turning up. So,
Right.
you know, that has been the key for me. I've got the most fabulous friends all around the world, like Hector, and you know, this is a global village, and it's becoming more so. We're in a global industry, and it's just start. You know, if you have had a thought about, wow, what if I went to another country to an event or just to experience a conference or learn more, do it.
Without a profit motive, right? Explore.
No, you have to go with just a genuine curiosity to learn. Don't work out agendas about profit and all of that.
Right.
That falls out the other end over time. Go there just wanting to learn more, wanting to experience, and wanting to engage.
Thank you, Clayton. I know you gotta go.
No
Bye.
worries at all, mate.
Bye.
Always fabulous catching up with this
Thank
man.
you. Thank
I
you.
admire and respect. Cheers.
The psychology of the sale.
Yes, psychology of the sale.
Gi-
Yes.
Give me a couple tips about why people buy, how people buy. Give me some psychology of the sale
Right,
tips.
so psychology of sale, let's talk a little bit about how you list your pricing in a proposal. Many people like to put their pricing, the lowest number first, then the middle package, and then the extreme package. Most people make the mistake of trying to sell the high-end package. No. Human buying behavior and heuristics tells us to purchase the safe option. They're going to look at, so what we're suggesting, put the high price package first. It's going to shock them because we're already
Is a decoy?
as a decoy, as an anchor effect. In your middle pack, they're going to look at your luxury package and they're going to say, that's overkill. I don't need all of that, and I certainly don't want to pay for all of that. Then they're going to look at the middle package, and if it's lower, you're giving them relief.
Yep.
Then they're going to look at the base package, and they're going to say, you know what, I need more than the base, so logically, what makes sense to purchase? What is the safe option? The middle package. So focus on the middle package as the workflow that you enjoy the most, has the most margin for you in your business, and don't look to sell the luxury, have your retreat the middle.
What's the best business advice you've ever received?
Take responsibility for the success of the programs and your business.
So it's not the customer that wants to pay less, it's the people that end up charging less because they think they're worth less?
The right customers don't want to pay less, they want to pay more, and they want to get more.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Counterintuitive.
It is, yes, certainly.
Yeah. And what were your sessions about?
Today, pricing, of course. So
Yeah.
this morning I was teaching, believe it or not, I was teaching how do you value price T-sheets, which is
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you value price timesheets?
but specifically, how do you value price installing that with clients? So T-sheets is a great tool for clients who need to clock people in, clock people out. So if you're an accountant or a bookkeeper and you recognise there's an opportunity to help them set that up in their business, how would you charge that as an accountant? How would you value price setting up an app like T-Sheets? And the other one I looked at was bill.com. If you're going to do bill pay services or help a client with bill pay services, how do you value price that? So that was my session this morning.
That's awesome. And tell me about the app that you developed.
Cloud pricing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Cloud pricing is a tool that you can use to price anything. And the basic premise is this: when you value price, you have no idea what the customer's willing to pay.
Hey man, tell me about your app or what you do. What's your deal?
G'day,
Who are you?
Damien Greathead with Receipt Bank, Hector. So good to see you. Basically eliminate all that data entry, get everything off the clients as easy as possible, snap a picture of it, and then that data is ready for QuickBooks Online. So cut the time in half, double the client base without actually having to double the overhead. So that's what we're here to do, to make bookkeeping scalable and make it incredibly profitable.
And what's your secret sauce? There's other apps doing the same thing.
A secret sauce, mobile first experience. So send the SMS message to the clients to get them on board. Got questions about a particular item, you can have the conversation in the app. So that mobile first experience is what definitely differentiates us and separates us from the competition.
And what are your thoughts about accountants doing video for marketing their practice?
It is the way forward. So absolutely, you've got to differentiate yourself, and you've got to talk to your clients in the mediums that they're using, and they're mobile, they're watching videos, and so get on board.
I'm here with Sandy Smith-Leyva,
Hey,
and you had a couple sessions, right?
I had one session on Wednesday and
What-
I'm all done. I'm super excited about it.
What did you teach?
So I taught all about advisory, how to become a trusted advisor, and help the small business client with their biggest pain point, which is growing revenue.
Growing revenue.
So you might think that as an accountant you can't really help a business with growing revenue, but you can, because you can help them gain insights into their marketing expenses, and you can help them learn about the revenue plan and their type of client, and it all can be done through spreadsheets.
And Sandy, what is the best business advice you ever received?
What is the best business advice that I ever received? Listen to your client and put yourself in your client's shoes and see what they're going through, and design your service around that.
Last question. Best business advice you ever received?
Best business advice, just ask questions. Just be inquisitive, be curious, just ask more. Never stop learning. So that's the best bit of business advice, is just that curiosity is what's so important.
And what are you doing on December 15th?
December 15th. I'm not sure. What am I doing on December 15th?
We're gonna watch Star Wars.
Oh, watching Star Wars, of course. Hello, Michelle. How are you? Yes, watching
Just
Star Wars, of
just
course.
messing with you. Have fun, man. Have
Good
fun.
to see you.
Thank you
so
for
much.
doing
Yeah.
that. Bye.
We have to price high. We want to get to the stage where we price at a price that's too high for the customer, more than they're willing to pay. Because if they say yes to your first price, you're too cheap.
Right.
Simple as that. So you want to price high, and when they say that's too expensive, you then start to work down. And that's kind of where software helps. It gives you a structure for doing that. You ask a series of questions, it comes up with a price. If that price is too high, and hopefully it is, then you say, okay, well, the reason it's that price is because you said yes to this thing, yes to this, you put this in the virtual shopping basket. So which of these things you said yes to on reflection do you not value as much? And so they might take something out and the price comes down. And it keeps coming down bit by bit, incrementally, until they say, do you know what, that's the package I can now afford. And you end up with a higher price than starting from the bottom working up.
So you're using software
Yep.
to present pricing options
Yes.
and get the client involved visually and emotionally.
Absolutely, you involve the client in the pricing process, because research shows that when the customer is involved, and in effect they get to choose the price,
Right.
they spend more.
You can't say no to once they choose it, right?
Yeah, and it kind of it was partly inspired. What my process, cloud pricing, is a bit what Apple do. If you go on, if you want to buy an iMac computer, you go to Apple's online store. Then they will offer you a choice of 3 options, no surprise. And then when you choose which of the options to buy, and you hit the select button, it then takes you through their upsell process. It says, would you like to have a different type of hard drive? Would you like more memory? Would you like the warranty? Would you like a trackpad as well as a mouse? And it goes through, and the price, and you see on the screen, the price goes up and up and up and up and up. But you never complain that Apple are ripping you off, because as a customer, you're in charge, you're in control. You tick the boxes, you choose what you want.
All right, I'm here with my main man, Matt Rissell, from a company that I don't know the name. And then I'm all here with Jamie Schulman with a company that I know the name because he's wearing the logo. This guy is hiding it. You work for Patagonia? Oh, there we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Show me some love.
2 of my favorite apps. Okay, and tell me, what's the secret sauce to company culture?
To company culture. I don't know if there's ever one thing that makes something a secret sauce. It's all of the little things that you do. But one thing specifically that we've done is we have a 0 recruiting budget. And why that works in culture is that your team, we do all of our hiring through referrals from our team. And what happens is that they only recruit like their best of the best, the people they really want to work with and are smart and bright and want to create something amazing. They don't want drama. And so it's like one of the best filters that we have to get the best human beings inside our company.
And is there high tech talent in Boise, or is it coming from different states?
It's crazy talented, Boise. It's crazy. And now because we're going to add probably another 200 employees in the next year.
Congrats, man.
Oh, well,
awesome.
Well, thanks. You were just
hire me, man.
Just shy of 300.
I want to quit
I've sent you more offers. You never.
I want to quit my job, man. I want to
you
quit
are
my job.
hired.
Okay. All right, good. And walk with me. Some leadership advice.
All right.
How do you retain talent? How do you retain good talent?
Empower them. So I don't think today's workers want to be told what to do. I think they want you to give them tools and give them some loose direction, but have them figure it themselves.
And so, what's the best business advice you ever received? Business advice.
Best business advice? Best business advice I've ever received is the best advice I give my little kids, and it's Jackson's never give up. And the business advice is like grit. Never give up. Just keep fighting. Every day may be tough, but tomorrow is a new day.
What about marriage advice?
Never give up.
Same.
Marriage advice is about compromise. I think that my wife and I never fight because we know where each other's lines are and we know not to cross them.
What's the secret to disruption?
To disruption?
Disruption.
The secret is basically listening to the customers and listening to the market. We found that way. Anything that we've built at HubDoc and other companies as well, when you listen to the customers and what they're looking for and what they want, and then think about maybe what they're not thinking about wanting or needing yet, that brings on the disruption.
Yeah,
You can't just on your own think of what people might want. It's talking to the customers, iterating, evolving, bringing them along, and that's probably the ticket.
What's the best business advice you ever received?
Oh God, I always think about reputation. You get one reputation and you never get another reputation. That's good personal advice too, I've gotten.
Of course,
But from a
absolutely.
business standpoint, integrity is up there as number one. And so if you have one reputation as a person, as a team, as a company, and think about that when you make decisions individually or as a team, that's probably where I would point to. Yeah.
And what's next for HubDoc? What's coming down the pipeline? Something new and exciting. Other than the fact that your app is awesome, but
Yeah, thank you. World domination, I guess.
Sure.
We're launching globally, so we're in Australia now, as well as being in Canada and the US. We're in Australia now, launching in the UK. That's on my mind. But a whole bunch of automation around what we do. We automate bookkeeping, right? So we automate bookkeeping for accountants and bookkeepers. And so right now it's about automating the collection of the documents and the extraction of the data and the creation of the entries. Soon it'll all be about the data. So that's coming next. We're super excited. We've just built out a pretty sizable data science team.
Yeah.
And so the data is the next piece.
any advice to developers out there trying to make it in this QuickBooks integrated
Never give
world?
up. I mean, the normal cliche advice is true. Like, listen to your customers. If you actually spend a little bit longer to really truly hone in on what customers are asking for, you won't realize it, but you're building a beautiful experience bit by bit. That's true. It's very cliche. I think here is to recognize that small businesses do pretty much everything that enterprises do. They have to collect clients. They have to do work for them, invoice them, get paid. And so don't think small businesses are super simple. They have same requirements everyone else do. So recognize all those differences.
And as a developer, what's more important, power or UI?
As a developer, what's more simplicity? Simplicity is power.
Correct. Simplicity is power.
Yeah.
And what's going on with Canada, man? There's so many awesome apps coming from Canada. It's amazing.
I know, in the accounting space, there's HubDoc, there's FreshBooks, Wave, there's Method. I mean, I could go on. It's the drinking water, I think.
Okay. So you go to a lot of conferences. What makes QB Connect special?
This is our celebration of entrepreneurialism. Everyone is happy here. It's amazing. It's like it's a celebration of not just QuickBooks, but also of the entire community, and that extends to all entrepreneurs.
Thank you, man. Bye.